everybody. Welcome to Across Shea Bridge, the podcast where Mets fans unite to share their stories, memories, and passion for the orange and blue. I'm your host, Andreina, and this is a space where we celebrate what it truly means to be a Mets fan. Whether it's your first game at Shea or City, a wild road trip, or a superstition you swear by, every fan has a story, and I can't wait to hear yours. Today, I'm joined by Emily, a fellow die-hard Mets fan, and let's just dive in. Hi, Emily.
Hi.
So good to have you. Thank you so much for the honor you give me to be my first guest.
I'm honored to be your first guest, and I'm so excited for this podcast.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a place where we're just gonna talk. It's just a conversation, and I want to know what. How did you become a Mets fan, and why?
So I feel like there's two eras for me. There's like when I was a kid and when I was, middle school. My dad was a Yankee fan, or still is. My mom didn't really have a team, and Yankee tickets were more expensive than Mets tickets. And so I remember them taking us to Shea Stadium to see a game. I was so like I remember, Daryl Strawberry was like an easy name for a little girl to remember. So like that was
Yeah.
like who I remembered, and you know, so it was that era, and like if I was gonna say I liked a team, I would say the Mets because it was the only team I'd ever seen in person. Um, and then later, like there are a couple games I'd see here and there throughout my life, and then it really became more of like an obsession in 2022. My aunt is a diehard Mets fan, and she had
Mm.
season tickets that were 5 rows behind home plate, and and my husband's a Mets fan, so for years he was like,
You
we
married
are
well.
we are gonna get those tickets. We're going to get a game. And then COVID hit, and it was the pandemic season. And in 22, we were out to a lunch for my grandmother's birthday, and she was like, you guys want a game, right? Here, I'll give." And she sent us tickets to a Marlins game. And I remember before the game, like my husband bought me a shirt, he got me a hat. He's like, "You got to wear these, whatever, sure."
You're like, yeah,
And
yeah.
before the game, I was kind of like, "Do we have to get there on time? Like, it's a long, games are long." And he's like, "Yes, we have to get stopped. Just let this happen." So we get to the game, and it was like the second it started, I was hooked. And Taiwan Walker was pitching against Sandy Alcantara. It ended up being the Marlins won 1-0. So it was like real pitchers duel, which is like not the kind of game you'd expect someone to get hooked on, because like there weren't the home runs, there weren't like, but that since that game, I have not missed a game. I've watched every single game, every single season, and it's just that was the beginning.
Wow. So I agree. I also had I had my obviously my hooked moment, which I've told before, but mine started with Keith Hernandez on first base. But I also had like a like I didn't become I just became like in love with the Mets then, but I didn't follow them because I was very young and all over the place, and not mentally but physically, like moving and like living here and there. And but you're right, there's times when you can like place times in your life, and what like there were times, there was probably a decade in which like I didn't watch a lot of games because I was raising kids, and the Mets were like maybe not very inspiring to watch or to make time to watch. So I didn't, but for the last 5 years I've been like hooked again. because I have more time now to dedicate and more time to suffer, to cry, to laugh.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a roller coaster of emotions.
It also is like my personality is when I get into something, it's like all or nothing. And I've always liked math and numbers and, there's so many, baseball is so fascinating. There's so many things to focus on. There's a statistic for everything. There's this is the first time X, Y, and Z ever happened. It's like something super specific that,
Infinite stats.
and
Yeah.
so the fact that I can like get like locked into stats and look into free agents that are coming up and different people's contracts and what would be a good trade for like there's so much to dive into that it really fits my personality. Like I don't think if this were football where it's like once a week your team plays, you play a hand 13 whatever games like and then it's over.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would be as hooked. It's that it's every day and there's
Because
something
you
that
need to feel like you need to dedicate your life,
mm-hmm.
heart, and mind to this, right? From what I can see, your personality. Yeah, and there's so many things that we can talk about the
Yeah, I mean,
game,
even right
team.
now, looking at like, I'll be watching Lindor, who's not as cold as he normally is, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, so what were his stats last year at this time, and what were they the year before at this time, and how far ahead is like, and that's where it
Yeah,
really gets
it's
me.
fascinating.
Hmm.
Now, is there a player? Let's just talk. I mean, there's a player that we all our favorite player. There could be your favorite player from back in the '80s, and which I'm gonna need you to tell me. And which is your favorite player right now?
So I mean, Daryl Strawberry is the one I remember. That was the one who, and honestly, it could have been his name because I liked strawberries. Like it's not because of anything specific. I
Because it's the first thing you.
gravitated towards.
Yeah.
And then now it's like I have a couple. Like it changes. I have like the ones that are, developing that I have like hopes for, like Alvarez and what he could
The
become
kids.
and watching him struggle, but like can he, really the challenges, can he push through Vientos right now, or like the the stories like Max Kranick, like growing up a Mets fan and like not having success in the big leagues and like getting injured and then coming back and being a reliever that I mean so far has been really effective or you know those were I think and I feel like every year there's like some story or some player that I get really attached to and it changes. Um, it was I loved Escobar, and I was
Oh, I
heartbroken
know.
when he left. And I feel like I'm still. It's like a new season. Like you, I'm waiting for who am I going to attach myself to? Like
Yeah.
what story is going to come out that I'm going to be really like drawn to? I love Tyrone Taylor and Siri and.
Oh, Siri is fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. How about Sanger, that guy who used to work at Trader
At Whole
Joe's,
Foods.
Whole Foods? How amazing is that?
I mean, it's
That
like what a crazy position that we're in right now. There's two backup catchers that are not. I mean, Torrens is. I don't know that he can keep this up. I mean, he's playing so well, and
yeah.
Sanger, I don't like. He's service. I mean, his defense is amazing. He's you have so little expectation for him at the plate that whatever he does, you're like, wow, he did. That's great.
Yeah, and I like that because it's kind of continuing the sort of like the magic from our general manager, like placing and finding guys that can bring that. I still miss. I don't think I'm ever gonna recuperate from not having Candelita, Jose Iglesias in the
Yep.
team. I am still not over that.
Well, it also doesn't help that we're getting nothing from second base or third base because I feel like if one of those kids, because they're all kids, I mean, it's Vientos, Acuna, or Beatty, and if one of them was doing something amazing, it would be a
Yeah.
distraction. But it's like all I'm thinking is he could be he could be doing this.
Don't even. Yeah, I know. I know. Stearns. I think this is the first time I don't totally. I don't know.
I mean, I trust him, and I think I get it. Like, I get why. Because you have to eventually give prospects chances and you can't call someone up for a week. I mean, like what Epler would do. Like, they'd call up Vientos and never use him. Or, you've got, and everyone goes through cold streaks.
Yeah,
Lindor, who, like, you wouldn't question being your shortstop, can be terrible at times.
Lindor last year starting was
Yeah.
horrendous.
And so you got to give them chances. And I get his point. Like, if you don't do that, then why are you keeping them?
I know it's. I see why too, but especially when he was like holding up to be offered something.
Yeah. I mean, but the other thing is, you kind of wonder if, with guys like Siri who kind of have an edge and Winker who kind of have an edge, like maybe that was like the G-rated Mets that were, like good guys, and maybe it's we need something different.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a different vibe this year. It cannot be recreated. What was the magic? We can have magic, but it's
It's different.
different kind of magic. Um, and the biggest surprise to me has been Alonso, the way wow, he's just
His at bats, I mean, these pitches I'm looking at, I'm like, this is what he would swing and miss. And he just lets it go. Like, he's not swinging at
I was
low
just going to ask you,
outside
what do you think
pitches.
it's what he changed about his approach?
I mean, I think he's not swinging at bad pitches. And I think he knows with Soto in front of him that he's going to get better pitches. So he's not chasing whatever
Mm,
they're throwing to him, and he's waiting for his pitch. But
yeah,
I mean,
more relaxed.
hopefully this keeps up. This isn't just like he's going to get cold at some point. Like, it's not going to he can't bat
Yeah, some are
300.
going to get cold, some are going to get hot.
He's not going to
Wouldn't
bat
it be nice
300
if they
all
were all
season.
hot? Like, huh?
He's not going to bat 300. But like
No.
250 or higher would be wonderful.
Yeah, and they're all going to get their hot and cold moments. Um, but going back to you, if you can, was there like, what was your worst loss? Like, if you can remember the worst, something that really hurt you.
So I'm thinking about games that I was at.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, the obvious one is like the Dodgers series last year in the playoffs. I was at the game at home. They lost a game at home, then they won a game at home, and they went and they lost the series. But the game they lost before they won, and I was sitting there. First of all, it was freezing, and I don't like being cold. And my husband and I were in like the 500 section, so it was super windy,
Mm.
and they just couldn't do anything, and it was like watching this team crumble. The pitching was just so tired, and he looked at, and we've never left a game early. And he looked at me and he was like, if Otani hits his home run, we're leaving. And the next swing was like the longest home run I've ever seen in my life.
Oh,
And that was hard because it was also the beginning of like the magic ending, and, knowing that next year is going to be different and you're not going to be able to, like, so many of the gimmicks and the things that were fun and the things that are just, you can't repeat. It's fake if you repeat it. So,
It was almost like you were witnessing the moment the magic ran out, right?
hmm
It was that moment when it
yeah,
was like that game. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think they just ran out of steam they had.
yeah. There's also a game that ended up being, I don't, I'd have to look. I don't remember who they were playing, but I have a picture of Escobar, and he was like walking into the, I want to say it was a good game. I think it was May 19th, 23, and it was the Guardians game. And it was an incredible game, but they didn't, I want to say he didn't really play that much. But it was like shortly, it wasn't long after. And like looking back on it, knowing that was the last time I saw him in a Mets uniform
Oh,
in
I
person.
know. I know. I have a picture with him, and I cherish that picture so much. Yeah, like that was like my warm up for morning for Candelita. um, Let me see. If you could relive one Mets moment in history, not the ones you witnessed, but something the Mets have done in the past.
World Series win. Um,
Obviously.
um, I mean, I wish I had been a Mets fan and been paying attention in that first home game after 9/11 when
Mm,
Piazza hit the home run. And that I would, I don't want to relive that period of history, but,
yeah,
you
that
know,
moment.
that moment, when the city was, you know, people were coming together in a way that they're not really anymore. So like historically that
Yeah.
piece of, you know, people weren't
Wait,
so
it was
concerned with
against, was it the Braves, right?
what?
It was against the Braves?
I don't even know. Like
I think it was the Braves or
yeah,
the Phillies,
it was a
a
um
rival.
a rival, right? So but just the fact that like the city's coming together, people aren't worried about people's political affiliations. Everyone just is on the same, like, we are New York, we're survivors, and then he does that. Like, I wish I could, that moment of like,
Celebrated
mhm.
there. Yeah, that was huge. The way that um, nobody cared, everybody loved everybody. It'd
And
be
that's
nice to go back.
that's also like what baseball does for me. When hard things happen, when life is heavy, when I'm dealing with a lot, it's like, if I go to a game, Tuesday was a tough day, and we had tickets, and for the 2 hours or 2+ hours I was at the game, nothing else mattered. And
Yeah.
so that's what I that's what baseball is for me. It's like my escape from everything else. So that's what that was in the moment.
And I don't know, but to me, going to City Field, when I go to City Field, I just, I love that place. I really, when people talk about stadiums, I'm like, hands
It's like
down, City
home.
Field. And I hear people from other teams. City Field is, so when I'm there, I like, like I feel like I'm home
hmm
and at home. And it's so much fun. Even I brought my boyfriend last year, and he was like, "Wow, I can really." Now, he likes sports. He's not a baseball follower. He likes more football. But he was like, he told me like the fans, everybody's so nice and friendly. I'm like, yeah, you probably been to a Yankee fan and a game. That's why you know. But it's true. Like Mets fans are, and that's why I wanted to do this podcast because I think we are the best fans because we are as passionate and Passionate, I mean New York passionate, but kind and
Except
fair.
for not always to our own players when they're not doing
Well, I
well.
know when they boo players, I don't personally like that, but they're telling the player like you can do better.
Hmm.
And I think the players, it's got to be hard, but they in a way they take that. I think that's got to take effect on them somehow. Um,
Well, and
but I did.
so my husband and I went to um, Daryl Strawberry's number retirement last year, and his speech to everybody, but then he like turned to the dugout and he was like, "These are the best fans. Like they'll boo you. They'll talking about how that like they will stand by you, but they will boo you when you're not doing well. They'll let you know."
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm a Mets fan, and I'm gonna say everything, but that's and I've had all the entire off season to think about what am I gonna do for my next podcast. Um, because I don't know, some of you might know I had another podcast with a fellow Mets fan, and we were just talking about stats and players and games. Um, and it was fine, but it became sort of like a competition, like who knows more. And I want to, like the matchups, and like it just became too technical. I want to reach out to the fans and hear the stories because we are an important part of this team. And opening game at City Field was you were there. It was completely sold out. The energy. Tell me about that.
It
Tell
was
me about that
incredible.
game.
I mean, so the first inning, like, Lindor's been kind of cold, and he comes up, the first batter, bottom of the first, and I mean, everyone was standing. No one sat down. And so we've been standing through the top of the
The
first.
entire game.
And like everyone is saying the whole stadium singing "My Girl." People are chanting MVP. He has a hit. I mean, it was electric. Like I have not. It was like that for the postseason. It was like that leading up to getting to the. But like it was right still at that level.
It
And
kept it. It was completely connected to the last game.
even the game. So on Tuesday, my husband had tickets through work, so it was like kind of unexpected that we could go, and it was freezing, so cold that they moved the time from
Yeah.
7:10 to 4:10. And even at 4:10, I mean, we took a walk at one point. We got to live it up in a suite, so we had some heat, but
Thank
we
God.
were walking. It was so cold, and there were people there, and the people that were there were loud and were into it. And you know that just the fans are dedicated. They're amazing. And even every post game, people, all the players, Mendy, are talking about what the fans are doing, and it's special to be a part of that because not all teams have that.
No.
Most don't.
No. I don't want to. Like you notice when they play at in Miami with the Marlins,
It's all Mets fans.
there's all Mets fans, and it's always empty. Like it's just so sad. And the stadium is in the middle of the city. Like how convenient. Like I would give I would give something if I could just
Shoot
if
over
the
there.
city field was
It's just shoot over there for
oh
a random, like not
God.
have to make a big plan. I mean, that's my dream. I have two young children, and so getting to a game, and my husband and I, we will get to any game. If we want to go, we'll figure it out. But it's not easy. I
The
mean, it's
logistics.
getting a babysitter, figuring out where the kids are going to be. Do they need to get picked up at school? Do they need to get, what activities do they have? Like, so it's work to do it, but like, I can't wait for the day when we can just get a, package of games, and those are the games we go to. And
Yeah, and they're expensive too. It's just
But it's what we don't go out to dinner that much. Like we don't
mm,
we like to
that's
visit
your
home.
date
Like this is our
night.
thing. We don't go on a ton of vacations. We go on a couple, but not really. So like we save it to go to Mets games. That's the thing that we do together. You know, it's it's our date night. So we save all our date nights up all year long and take advantage during the season.
No, and what's I mean, I would love if I could just go to like 5 games, 10 games a season. Um, but it's just not. It's not feasible when you are far. Um, what else? Well, I went to my first game at Port St. Lucie, and I
Spring
bought
training's
two
fun.
hats. So much fun. I could have bought three more hats, but it was going to be too much. It's funny because my brother is he's like a financial agent, and he had oh my god, um,
Canario?
Canario. Thank you.
You told me
Unfortunately,
the story.
Canario was sent to the Pirates for cash, but I was praying and hoping he would stay in the team, and I personally think
But it's one of those things. Like there's no room. I mean, who are you going to get rid
I
of?
know, but I
Like,
think he did better than Taylor, and I love Taylor.
but so just learning David Stearns's, like, we're never going to have a pitching, like a rotation the way the Mets used to have rotations, because that's not what he spends his money on. And he will sacrifice, you know, production in center field for good defense. So like we have really two incredible defenders at center field, but the production's never going to be incredible.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't want to, and like I feel more confident sometimes with Taylor out there, but I love how he's been using Siri to he, pinch run him
Because he's fast.
so fast. And
Guy's fast.
so like that, I love that he's doing that. I wouldn't want to get rid of either one of them. And they're cheap.
Yeah, he got him for cheap for sure.
And then we've got Soto, and then we have, you know, Nimmo, and they're locked up, and we have, Winker can play outfield,
Winker is so good at the plate, man. I
and
mean,
McNeil and Market, and they all are outfield, can play in the outfield, or they can be DH, or they can play, they have other positions. There just isn't room.
I know. No, I know. Oh well, because I'm gonna
And if
have to.
he's really good, maybe they'll get him back.
I hope so, because I really liked how he played. He did
Mm-hmm.
very well.
Also
Um,
hard to tell at spring training because like Beatty
true.
was,
Oh, baby.
had the best. He was had the best batting average of anybody in the Grapefruit League, and here we are.
Oh my god, I feel so sorry for Beatty.
Yeah, I
Um,
still, I really hope either he's one of those people that, if it takes going to another team to have success, I want that for him. It like I'd rather him be successful somewhere else than just always be unsuccessful, but keep him.
I mean, we want him to be successful with us.
Yeah, but I'm saying if part of it is like the New York, not everyone, some of the players that are amazing for other teams would not do well in New York. You need,
Maybe like a more low profile,
yeah,
yeah, situation. Maybe some really can really handle. You're right, the big spotlight. Hmm. Oh, let me see if I have.
just hope it's somewhere like an AL team, like AL Central, like don't really care about them. We don't. It doesn't hurt us too much.
Which one would that be?
If Beatty went somewhere else, like have him go somewhere that we don't have to face him very often.
Yeah, yeah. Seattle.
Yeah, he'd go there.
um, Anything else you want to share, Emily?
No, I think this is a great podcast, and I've loved becoming friends with you through our shared love of the Mets, and I'm excited to listen to who you get, the stories that people have.
Yeah, it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be to get the people.
I've got some
But
ideas I'll send your way.
Thank you. I'm recording another one tomorrow with Kim and her boyfriend, which are Mets fans. She's like, "Can my boyfriend come on?" I'm like, "Of course." So that's gonna be fun. So I want this also to be, I mean, not super scripted. Um, I like that sort of natural feel for the content, and I'm doing what I love, which is talking about the Mets with people that love the Mets, and this is it for me, doing something I love. So I'm happy. um, well, Emily, thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for letting me be your first guest.
Oh my God, I know, it's exciting. I'm so excited. I'm gonna, we're recording this now, but I'm gonna upload it to my YouTube page account, and then I'll let you know when it's ready. This is still recording, but I don't care. This is all natural stuff. This is all no script. But that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you so much to Emily for sharing your story. If you love what we're doing, subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on Across Shea Bridge. And if you got a great med story to share, I'd love to hear from you. Email me at acrossshaybridge@gmail.com, and you could be my next guest. Until next time, we keep bleeding the orange and blue, and let's go Mets! I still don't have any music or anything, but maybe I'll find a musician that can just do something. Thank you so much, Emily.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.